Welcome here on this Air Antwerp flight, flight number 120 from Antwerp, Echo Bravo Alpha Whiskey to London City Airport. This is not the first time that I try to record this. My first attempt went rather not so good. Many reasons. First of all, we had some scenery difficulties. I had a freeway here of Antwerp, and it turned out that yeah, well, it was a little bit cluttered, and the whole taxiway layout and everything was not really realistic. So I decided to check out the normal gateway standard airport, and I have to say, let me show you. This is actually quite okay. Unfortunately, there's no taxi network, so something I might maybe, if I find the time, I might add later on. And which means that I can't use anything like follow me car or so. But that's not so bad. It's a small airport. Apart from that, I think this looks pretty decent, and the taxi lines here, they are actually exactly what they should be. And yeah, we are going to replicate an actually existing and hopefully after COVID-19 still existing service from Antwerp in Belgium to London City Airport in the UK. The other difficulties I had was the navigation, the autopilot with the Fokker 50. I had some issues. I think I discovered what it was. On my honeycomb yoke, alpha yoke here, I had the batteries and the generators on the switches, and apparently, because I forgot, I didn't turn them on, so they were on, but they were not on, and during the flight I actually lost Avionics and the FMC. So yeah, that made for an interesting flight route. I did a couple of detours and turnarounds and things like that. Not something that you want on a video. So I fixed this one. Then I also had issues with following the route in general. I know that is a feature of this aircraft, according to what I can read in the So let me quickly turn off the DC chatter. Oh no, we can leave it. I think it's not that loud. So I decided to move away from this idiotic standard X-plane stuff, also including the displays that are practically unreadable. Okay, and I decided to go for the option that you have with Carenado aircraft, with most of them at least, to go for the Reality XP Payware GTN, because not only do you have a map, for example, of the airport here, but you can also have proper, at least lateral flight planning. All right. Okay, and then London City Airport. I have True Earth Great Britain South, and together with the Orbix London City Airport. Well, it's unflyable. The Orbix London City Airport is abysmal in performance. One of the reasons why my approaches weren't really what they should be, but it's only part of the problem. The other problem is that this aircraft doesn't slow down very well on a 5-degree descent. What's this sports car doing here? So that made for some interesting approaches, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be as interesting on my 6th attempt now to do this video. Well, anyway, normally just me, the idea of just me is that a bit like the Just Planes videos or DVDs that you can buy, that I kind of give you parts of the whole flight. We're not going to sit in here for the whole route, but I'm going to pick out the interesting parts of the flight, and then I cut together a video that gives us a comprehensive look at things. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure the landing in London City Airport will be very interesting. Okay. Now, as I said, this is not going to be a I talk all the time stuff. It's I'm going to actually stop telling a lot, and I will go into kind of pilot mode and doing my things, concentrating on stuff. And we will have ATC, and this ATC I'm trying today is the 124th ATC. This is a freeware plugin. It's already a couple of months old now. There haven't been any updates recently, but I think it'll be fine. I'm going to file a flight plan, and again here was another issue because I loaded the flight plan from the FMS, and then it put all these in-betweeny thingsy in here, and that actually caused more problems on my initial flight. So I actually take this out because I don't want ATC to come with these wrong altitudes, because what happened was I never got the descent to the flight level I would, or the altitude I would have needed for the approach in London City, and that's due to these .fl commands that are put in here. So let me take them out. So we're flying via the NIK, I think it's a VOR. We're going to have a look at the charts in a moment. And then we end up on the Summum, and we're going to use the Summum 1 Charlie arrival, I think, and the NIK something 3 Echo or so departure. It is now possible to look for SIDS and stars. That's something that had been added in recently like in these last versions. Here you can see ATW is the Air Antwerp ICAO, and flight number 120. We depart from Echo Bravo Alpha Whiskey to Echo Golf Lima Charlie. Departure transition is actually 4,500. Arrival transition is 6,000. Flight level, we're going to fly on flight level 180. At least the real flight. There is a real world example in the Just planes, so that's where I got the idea from. They fly on well, at least in the flight plan database I found it on flight level 180. Expected descent vertical speed, well, actually my experience is that we're probably more talking about 1400 to 1500 feet, yeah. It's not 1800, that's for sure. So I'm going to insert that flight plan, and now it's going to ask me for the departure. It actually suggests NIK 3 Echo, so when I press this we have programmed our ATC. Now one little tricksy that I did is I have XATC chatter running in the background to give it a bit more, well, sort of realistic sounding background. The problem is when I talk to ATC, 124th ATC, you still get the chatter just coming over. So what I did is I actually programmed my PTT key, and not only would it do the readback when I press this, but also it stops the play chatter. So I've programmed it to turn off the chatter while I'm pressing it. So this way I can simulate a little bit, or at least get some of the background chatter to stop when we do actual ATC interaction. Not sure if that works out well, we shall see. But that was an idea I had, and I just tried it. Okay, we are on 121.8. It's Antwerp ground. There is no clearance delivery or anything like that, so we're going to get our IFR clearance from ground. And I am already connected to ground, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some scrap paper here, because it's always easier for me to write down things. And we are going to request the IFR clearance. Antwerp ground, good morning, Devil 120, request IFA clearance to London City as filed.
Devil 120, cleared to London City via runway 11 departure. Initial altitude flight level 110. Squawk 2477.
Triple ground, anyway, more on 7 to Bravo, Golf 5 and West startup.
Okay.
7 to Bravo, stand by for push.
110. Clear to Echo Golf Lima Charlie via runway 11 departure, initial altitude flight level 110,
Devil 120,
squawk 2477.
read back correct. Contact me again for startup. Set the transponder code 2477 as instructed.
2477. Yeah, this is not perfect, but yeah, I want to see how this freeware ATC works out for us. 2477, and as soon as we have that, we get the possibility to request an engine startup or request engine startup and pushback. Actually, something that you can't see or not see a lot of, because I keep things at the bottom, is this here. This is the menu that pops up depending on where we are, so I leave them normally down in the corner, and they are partially covered by my overlay. Okay, so what we need to do next is program the FMC, or in this case the GTN. For that we need to go into flight plan mode. We are on Echo Bravo Alpha Whiskey. We're going to load a procedure, and it's the departure procedure Nick 3 Echo on runway 11. Okay, and now we need to add more waypoints. The thing here is I normally can load the flight plan, and we can actually still do this. I'm going to open the already saved flight plan, and then I can look here. So we're going Lima 179. Was that possible? Can't remember now. Let's see if it is capable of detecting. No, this is not waypoint. I need to try and remember if I can add a... Can I add pilot track, invert VNAV? I think it is possible to add routes. How was that? How did that work? I am pretty sure. Waypoint, load airway, there it is. Yeah, so it's Lima 179. So how did I get this? Oh, right click on the okay, to COA, and then we go Annika Helen COA, load. Okay, cool. Then load airway. Next one is the Lima 608, and we're flying all the way to Sumum. Okay, then we say load, and we have our flight plan. Now I'm adding a... Oh, hang on, we haven't got the airport yet.
Yeah, we try to call you about 20 times.
So we need to add Echo Golf Lima Charlie. Wind is coming from 09, so we are going to have to approach via runway 09. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. So, and what we could do here is load procedure, and we're coming in via the Sumum 1 Charlie arrival. Okay, and it's the airport transition The transition, I am not sure, so we're going to use transition, and we're going to select, oh, that's for both runways. Okay, load the arrival. I haven't worked with this for some time. Okay, load procedure, approach, that's it. We're going to land on ILS 09. Transition, probably vector, so I'm going to leave it like that for the moment. And there is even a chart. Huh, that is amazing. Let's see. Yeah, although this is actually hard to read. Yeah. What? From what date is this? Let's see. This is from 28th of February. Okay, yeah. I have slightly more updated data. Okay, but to be honest, I don't need this in here. This is not that practical. We have other means to do charts. Load the approach, well, we're not activating it. So basically, we're taking off from runway 11 and 1500 feet is our first waypoint, and we're going to leave it like that. Let's go back to the map, and then let's have a quick look. And here we can see nicely we take off runway 11, then we turn to the right, and then we're following via the NIK VOR, and then we move on. Right, so that's very good. And not only that, but we do have the airport layout as a map here. Okay. We do have Avitap. I have this as an external window. And, well, I did calculate, but we don't have the same weather. We have similar weather, but not the same weather. But I can show you that it calculated about 3 tons of fuel, 3,000 kilograms. So let's make sure that we have those 3,000 kilograms on board. No, we don't. Probably all my experiments. I used up most of that. So that's with all the contingency stuff. Gives us 4 hours of flying time, if that's correct. And yeah, then from a weight and balance, let me see, where is here's the load. So we have a takeoff weight of 20.6 tons. Let's see if we can set this similar. That means we need to actually add a bit of payload, meaning passengers. Okay, do that. Done. Apply. Okie dokie. The time is not quite right. We should be at 9:20. I didn't actually check the time, although we might be actually quite close. And yep, so that's fine. Now let's go here. Echo Bravo Alpha Whiskey. This is Antwerp. Current weather. I'm not on realistic weather because when I did my first flights I had actually very good weather, and just today, now that I do my 6th time, we have thunderstorms, big fat clouds, rain, storm, you know, so it's not as nice, the weather, especially in London, so I don't really want to fly in that weather. Okay, I would like to see something, because this flight was also conducted at good weather at the time. Yeah, so the only thing I might actually modify is the time, because we are supposed to leave at, let me check again when I was supposed to leave.
Delta 56, use NV Alpha 16.
It's supposed to be off 9:40 local or 7:40 Zulu. So I might just go and put this on 7:30 Zulu, apply the change. It's a little bit earlier than that. Good. Right. Okay, we do have a checklist. I just wondered that it didn't pop up. Maybe I discarded of it. Here is my first attempt of making a X checklist. I wish the windows are harder to read. This transparent thing, unfortunately. So circuit breakers, yeah, they are fine. Landing gear is down. Oxygen is checked. Emergency equipment is checked. Aircraft documents, they're all there. Okay, and now we also need to make sure that we don't hear all the flippin' emails coming in. Alright, air conditioning. I actually set this up and I'm going to activate all these things. I'm also going to activate the fuel pumps. We have external power, the batteries are on. You can see that we actually have power available. Okay. This is all okay. So let's put on the nav lights and the anti-collision lights. Pressurization checked, then external power is on, power levers, fuel levers. Fuel levers are open. Yeah, I probably... not sure why this doesn't work, so let's click it. ERP, T, toga or flex, so we have it on takeoff, which is fine. Can stay like that. The auto feather test button. The auto feather test button is here. Left one, right one. So the rest is okay. Then comes the fuel. The fuel is checked. We have now 3 tons on board. Emergency lights. The emergency lights are... Where are the emergency lights? Let me see. Anti-call. I think I was looking for them before as well. What's that there? That's the wipers, compass light.
Are you ready for departure as well?
Yeah.
Ready, 840, good morning. Good morning, taxi to Echo 5. Echo 5, after that, 840.
I'm not sure where they are, to be honest. I was looking for them also the last time round. They're probably in plain sight, but as usual in these new aircraft, I usually don't see them when I should. This is not it. This is the internal lighting. Alright. Well, it's not that important. Window heat low.
Kilo 1351, it will be Alpha 52 for you. Turn left on Alpha, hold short Alpha 9.
And the landing altitude is set. I think we need to do this here. I'm not even sure that it actually is coded, so you can do something here. So theoretically that would be near to 0. Seatbelt, no smoking.
That's the latest I got. So for now we'll taxi to Alpha 52. Okay.
On and auto. Navcom, FMP. Set navigation, communication equipment and radar. Select AP command to the left or right flight director. So we're activating the flight directors and we're going to use... I think we need to go via nav1, yeah, because we're not running with the internal FMC, we're running with this, so we're going to use this, and we have to make sure that the CDI is on GPS, and what we tried with FMS, if it doesn't follow we switch over to nav. I'm not quite sure how the GTN, I haven't flown with the GTN in this one yet. Okay, takeoff data, check weight and balance sheet. Well, yeah. ERP, select takeoff, we have done that already. Trim, set elevator trim within green band. The trims, so that is correct. Parking brake is set, hydraulics checked, so the hydraulics, quantity minimum 70%, check electric pumps off. I can check this, hydraulics is somewhere, hello, where are you? Must be probably somewhere here. Ignition, engine, air conditioning, engine fire, hydraulics, there it is. So the electric pumps, engine pumps, electric pump is off, yeah, so that's the default. Quantity minimum 70%, yep, there it is. We still haven't got pressure because we haven't got any pumps running. I would assume if I turn this on, we do get pressure, yeah. Whether it would go up and down to zero like that in real life, I would strongly doubt that. Gear pins are on board, windows and doors. Well, they're not yet closed, but I would say time that we start cleaning up here. We do not need pushback. We got our fuel, and all these vehicles are brought to you courtesy of Jar Design's ground handling. And I'm actually going to use the quick way of hiding them all. And now we're going to close all the doors. The doors are here. Static elements gone, front door, right door. The ground power we still need. Pedals and seat harness adjusted. So cleared for start. That door is closed too. So we put on the start pushback. We're going to turn the fuel pumps on. They are on, so it's a dark cockpit, so if it's out, it's usually in the intended state. As you can see here, the off light would show up. Fuel pumps are on, check pump lights out for battery start, pump 2 only. But we do not have a battery start, so anti-call light is on. This is actually one that is off when the light comes on here.
And now for Jet 6291, are you ready for departure? I'm filming for Jet 6291. Taxi to Echo 5.
Just check my...
Echo 5, thank you for Jet 6291.
I'm just checking my switches. Okay, yeah, so they work. Anti-collision light is on. The power levers are in the ground idle position. That's where they should be. Yep. Engine selector. Right, so we are ready for the start. Let's quickly check the outside of the aircraft. Everything is fine. Now I need to request engine start. Antwerp ground, Devil 120 request startup.
Devil 120, startup approved.
Startup approved, Devil 120. Alright, so we're starting with the right engine. That's also so that if there is a problem, that we can still get the passengers out on the left side. 1, 2, 3. So as soon as we have a certain, I move the mixture into the start position. That is now this one up into the start position.
Wizard 101 and internal taxi distance. Continue via Alpha Sierra 3 Delta, holding point and wind time.
Okay, so we got it in for 3 seconds. Now we're checking the values. Fuel lever right start, yeah. Monitor engine acceleration ITT, so this has come up. Then the fuel lever into the open position, which is up here. That'll bring up the right engine now.
Travel 7304, monitor tower, 118.
Alright, and now we turn the ignition off. 1, 2, 3 for the second one. Open the fuel. I'm actually moving the ground power now, in case I forget. So we've got... I'm moving this up into the open position, and now also the left engine comes up fully. That looks like good starts. External power is removed. As soon as this stabilizes, I'm going to turn the starter off. Anti-icing is not required today. Alert lights here are all out. Then the prop over speed tested. It's not that you hear anything or see anything, so I just press the button. It's just for fun. We're going to take off with flaps 10, so 2 positions, or 5. This is actually flaps 5. Is it 5? No, it's 10. Flight instruments. So the EFIS is check. Reading is okay. RMI. Yep. So what we can do is we can move this into the map position. Yeah. I haven't yet found out how I can declutter this display, but we're not going to use this. Don't ask me why these windows show up like skyscrapers. Every time they come up like this, and then I need to resize them. Yeah, we do have the flight plan also loaded, but I'm going to use this here. Yeah, thinking of making this a little bit smaller. We don't really need it that big. So I'm going to put it here. That'll help us. Okay, before takeoff check, well, that's a bit early, so let's we're ready for taxi. Well, let's request taxi. Ground, Devil 120, request taxi.
Devil 120, taxi to runway 11. Contact tower on 135.200 when on holding point.
Taxi to runway 11, contact tower on 135.200 when on holding point. Okay. Now, clear to the left, clear to the right, taxi light on, parking brake off. You need to find the correct power setting to get it rolling, and then you need to slow it down as well, because otherwise, where are we? Ah, yeah, here we are. Yeah, maybe I should quickly bring up the airport chart here because I'm a little bit lost at the moment. Oh, I can't connect to Navigraph. Isn't that typical? I can't connect to Navigraph, but it's not that important today because we still have, yeah, so we need to get to Alpha 1. We need to get to Alpha 1, let's bring that up.
Davia 43 Tango, you can enter first right. Via first right, bedankt. Davia 43 Tango.
And then from Alpha 1 we go to Foxtrot, and then Foxtrot brings us to the beginning of the runway. It takes a bit of time to get used to this aircraft, also the taxiing. So in my first attempts I had a bit of trouble getting, at first it was very slow and it took me ages. Then I had some issue also with the throttle levers, because on the ground my throttle 0 position is the ground idle. The problem is that during flight Carenado has not is not blocking you moving your throttle levers by accident beyond the flight idle, and then actually basically causing your airplane to go into some form of beta mode, which can be tough on you, especially when that happens, and that happened twice to me when you're just before the runway, just before you touch down. If you by any chance go too low, you will it will actually cause a problem. So let's stop here for the moment. Yeah, that was quite a bummer. So I've written a little Lua script that when in flight and when activated, I see if I have that activated actually. Where's the fly with Lua, macro, and yeah, it's the throttle on off, but I'm turning it on when we're in the air, because on the ground I don't need this, although actually I put in a check, so I can turn this on. As soon as we are not on the ground anymore, I have something that blinks and shows me when I'm in the flight idle area. And if I really go down to where the beta stuff starts, it will immediately push things up again, so that at least you will hear something, but it will not cause the aircraft to kind of fall out of the sky. So we need to get to 135.2. Oops. 135.2. Is it? No, it's 135. Oh yeah, it is. It's one. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. I think we're not close enough. We need to move forward a bit.
Ryanair 17 Tango Lima, apologies. Go around, turn left, heading 360, climb 3,000 feet.
If you're too far from the runway, it does not consider. There you go. See it now. I get the request takeoff button, so we're stopped, and we're going through the before takeoff checklist. Takeoff data and briefing is completed. Yeah, this is our takeoff speed, radar and transponder. The transponder, oh yeah, hang on, is actually
Ryanair 17 Tango Lima, contact approach 121.1.
Is it altitude reporting I need to do? I think so. Or is it on? It should have been in standby anyway. Radar and transponder is set. Flight controls, yeah, they're checked. And the takeoff config button. There is a takeoff config button. There's a takeoff config button here. And the reason why it's pinging is we have the park brake on. So if I turn this off and I press this again, see, it's quiet. Takeoff config pressed, so we are ready for takeoff. So let me quickly slam on the brake here, and we request takeoff. Tower low, Devil 120, on holding point runway 11, ready for departure.
Good afternoon, Starboard 53, Echo Delta, establish 5 miles.
Starboard 53, Echo Delta, low, continue approach, wind 120 degrees, 11 knots.
Devil 120, wind 967 knots, runway 11, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 11, Devil 120. Okay.
Starboard 53, Echo Delta, wind 120 degrees, 11 knots, runway 10.
Let's put on the landing lights.
Clear down 10, Starboard 53, Echo Delta.
Wind
Let's
check
put on the
120 degrees,
strobes.
11.
And we'll clear this flag. Now, I actually didn't check my heading. We still need to do that. That's the heading.
665, we're 160 knots. That's 6 miles. 7 miles out.
Ryanair 665, continue approach traffic to depart, wind 120 degrees, 11.
I'm doing too many things at the same time, as usual, which is usually not a good idea. Okay, so that's the heading. I am now going to put us first into heading mode, and after takeoff I'm going to use the indicated airspeed mode.
Starboard 53, Echo Delta,
Alright.
vacate Echo 3 Hotel 2, hold short 16.
Then takeoff, I've slowly moved the throttle levers all the way to the front. Rotate. Positive right, gear up. I'm activating the vertical speed mode first. Now let's
Logan 3, Mike
Devil
Switch.
120,
to nav.
QNH 101
No.
Contact
Just
Brussels control on 131
Okay, hang on.
100. Bye.
LNAV, yeah, we don't need the glide slope. Why are you doing the glide slope? Now it's correct. And then we activate the autopilot. Contact Brussels control on 131.1.
Ryanair 665, wind 130 degrees, 12 knots, runway 10, clear to land.
Land 10, Ryanair 665, taking the wind.
130 degrees, 12 knots.
Okay.
Okay, 131. 31. What was it? 131. 1. Okay, enter and transfer. Brussels control, Devil 120, passing 2,500 feet, climbing flight level 110. So I hope we are.
Devil 120, turn right heading 265, climb to flight level 110.
Turn right heading 265, climb to flight level 110, Devil 120. Okay, so it is still, for some reason it wanted to go into ILS mode, but now it's okay. We are in nav mode and we have changed the CDI to GPS, and now it should work. We're still on the climb. Yeah, what I can do now is I can go into the climb mode here of the power setting, which is here. we need to bring the flaps up. Actually forgot about those. Single pilot. That's what happens. So we are past the transition altitude, but pressure is 1013 anyway. So we got that. Gears and flaps are up before approach check. That comes later. So we're now climbing slowly but surely out here in Belgium. See how we came around here now, and now we're following our route. So let's quickly adjust the heading. I'm going to use IAS mode. I just realized the vertical mode has gone again. So we're staying on 140 for the moment. I have no idea if this is the correct climb rates and speeds. I just take what the aircraft presents me, and I can see that I need to be in and around 1500, 1600 feet per minute, and the speed wouldn't go much further than 140 knots on the climb out. Eventually it will level off, and then we would obviously get faster. Okay, so we are almost at 10,000. Turn the lights off, and we can also turn off the seat belts. Now I hope that today we're not going to have issues with the autopilot. So we reached 1000. I guess we are probably still on the departure, on the NIKA departure. Yeah, we haven't reached, I think we haven't reached have we, Niki? Whatever it's called, let me see. So, no, we haven't reached it yet, you see, so we're still on the departure route here until we
Devil
reach...
120, climb to flight level 180.
Climb flight level 180. Level 120. So that 180 is our actual. So I'm now going to use vertical speed mode, and I'm going to climb again with about 1500 feet per minute. speed is in around a bit under 200, 190-ish. That's our departure route. You saw us taking off runway 11. Turn around here towards Niki on the Niki 3 Echo departure. So we are shortly before Niki now. Or no, actually we have passed Niki, and now we're on our first waypoint, Helen. And we continue climbing out to flight 180. So far, actually much better. Much better than the first time round. Also, I'm getting used to 124th ATC, slowly but surely. Flight distance is about 160, 170, was it 180 miles, so it's not that far. But this is not a fast aircraft. But it's supposed to be a stall, so it can do short takeoffs and landings. That's why we use it also for the London City Airport. But as I said, my experience isn't exactly great, because it's very hard to bring down the speed on this aircraft. So today I'm going to attempt and configure and bring it down into full configuration before we start descending. And I have to try and keep it as low as possible on the speed. It will probably be very nasty. And the other thing is, I had the impression that the ILS, the glide path that comes into runway 09, London City, somewhat I was not able, when I followed the puppies, I was always in the red. But I was red right down to the runway, but I was actually too high. So at the end, I always needed to push the aircraft down in order to be able to land. So I have a feeling that puppies and glide slope localizer and all that are not really very well aligned here in the orbit scenery as well as the default scenery, and that's why I was always. It wasn't a nice approach, and I had real difficulties slowing it down and getting it down. And I wonder if this is normal, if it has to be like this, or if I'm missing something. I probably missed something, as usual. There doesn't seem to be an air brake on this one, so that it's not that you can bring out all the braking power of your air brakes or something in order to help you at the end. Yeah, so we have to see how we do this. Okay, now this is the, in brackets, boarding part. So I'll be back when there is some more interesting things to talk about or to see. So we have actually reached flight level 180. This is our cruise altitude. I'm going to bring back now the power to cruise level and quickly going through and check. So we are still on nav. We seem to be following our flight plan as intended, as you can see. So we do this a little bit smaller. You can see now where we're flying. So we're flying via Saski, Sumom, Logan, and Sumom is the beginning of our arrival procedure. But we still have to find out what runway we're going to get. I'm expecting runway 09 due to the prevailing winds. going to turn off Avitab, and I actually leave you this one here. There is now a little frequency mismatch between XITC chatter and 124th ATC. So the frequency it has for Brussels control is 131.010. The frequency that 124th ATC uses is 131.100. So we're not going to have RTC chatter during this part of the flight until we change the center. I'm not sure which of the two is wrong, to be honest. But we are on the correct frequency, otherwise we wouldn't have been accepted by radar. Right, so now we are over the channel, and we'll just cross the channel now until we are closer to the British Isle, and that's where I will be back then with you.
Devil 120, expect Sierra Uniform Mike Uniform 1 Charlie, runway and use 09er.
So we're now getting closer to Sumum, which means that we're very soon going to be on the Sumum 1 Charlie. Let's have a look at that in the Navigraph here. So you can see that we're now at Sumum. We're going to fly via Logan, maximum 250, which no problem. Then we're supposed to go to Jaco, and we have to be at flight level 09 at Jaco. Now that didn't work out the last time, so I might actually request flight level 90. Maximum 210 knots, again no problem, because we are flying already with 210 knots. And then from Jaco, we're going to go to yeah, I think that's when the that is when the vectoring starts. Yeah, so we need to see what transition we're going to fly. I actually can check the 124th ATC parameters, and what we can see is with the altitudes, this is still not okay. So I definitely restriction 90, but for some reason it still calculates it at flight level 180. So I'm not happy, because the restriction actually says 90. So I see if it asks us down. If not, I'm definitely going to request lower altitude, so that we can follow the arrival as it is intended. Yeah, as I say, from Jaco we're most likely going to get vectors. If you want to request specific things, there's an ATC dialog. So for example, I can ask it, I would do this then near Logan for flight level 90. I would then request a new flight level, hoping that it lets me down. I can declare an emergency, or I can jump to one of the waypoints along the flight. So I could actually shorten my flight by jumping to any of the waypoints on the flight plan. And here we go again. The autopilot has just turned off. Yeah, this is again exactly the same problem. We already had that, and I'm not sure what that is.
Devil 120, set the transponder code 2477 as instructed.
Yeah, so this is not good, because we lost everything, and that happened to me before. Let's see. Yeah, our flight plan is gone. Fantastic. Let's pause the simulator. There's something fishy here with this aircraft. It just loses all the power, and actually the only way for me to get it back is by turning off the battery, but that means I need to then go and set everything up from scratch. So that's a real bummer. I had hoped that this would not happen, but as usual it does. So we need to go to Logan. This is the unfortunate thing with Carenado, something that I really hate about them. It's these kind of shoddy behavior that just happens, and I have no idea why that is. So it's really, really makes me angry, something like that, to be honest. All right, Echo Golf Lima Charlie. And I'm going to load procedure. Nope, 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 nope. Arrival. Sumo 1 Charlie. Load the arrival. And then we need the approach, which is the ILS09. And we load the approach. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to go direct Logan, activate Summum Logan. Yep, So at least here we have got it again the way it should be. Alright, now let's see if I can reactivate the autopilot. I can. And we are kind of back in business, but that's not very good. Transponder 2477, yeah, we lost that one too. 2477, enter. And it might happen a second time, because on my previous flight that happened twice. No idea what it is, and I have no idea what I should do apart from I have to turn off the battery. Maybe there's another way. I don't know what it is. I mean, that's the generators are active. Okay, so it doesn't make sense. Does not make sense. So we're now at Logan, and because of all this crap, I completely forgot that I wanted to request flight level 90. London Air Control, request cruise altitude change to flight level 90, level 120. What frequency should we be
Level
on?
120, descend flight level 90.
Descend flight level 90, level 120. I'm going to use indicated airspeed, and I'm taking back to power. Okay, so flight level 90, that is much better. We won't be there because I took too long now. So I've put myself into flight.
Level 120, QNH 101 Contact London Area Control on 128.125. Bye.
QNH 1013, contact London Area Control on 128.125. Bye.
33724, we have light turbulence on 340. Do you have any reports on 36?
London Air Control, level 120. Flight level 17 for flight level 90.
Wings 30 November, contact 132085. Bye-bye. Wings 30 November, 132085. Bye-bye.
Devil 120, turn right heading 275, descend to flight level 90.
Right, 275, descend flight level 90, Devil 120. Okay, 275.
194, contact radar 12858. Bye-bye.
275, I need to use this here because we don't have a display otherwise for the heading mode, and we descend to flight level 90. So we are now on vectors. So quickly show you this here. So this is the ILS 09. So we're going to come from here, then pass the airport, and it will vector us somewhere around here. Last time I had to actually do my own vectoring, but maybe today it works a bit better. So frequency is 111.5 for the ILS. I'm going to put this on. And the course, at the moment we can't set, but when we set it, we need to set it to 093. But at the moment we're still, well, actually we are on heading mode, so I can switch this to VLOG mode, and now I can put the course on 093.
American 70, increase rate 2.5 knots or more.
2500
Oops.
or more in the rate, American 70.
I forgot I'm on heading mode. I have to be careful. Okay. So let's quickly check. Yeah, so it's given us approximation points, as it calls it. So it calculates an approximate route in order to get us aligned with the
Devil
ILS.
120, QNH 101 tree. Contact London City approach on 132.700. Expect Sierra Uniform Mike Uniform 1 Charlie. Runway and use 09er. Bye.
Contact London City approach 132.7. Expect Sumo 1 Charlie runway in use 09er. I am already on Sumo 1 Charlie, but there you go. 132.7. 13270. London approach. Hello, Devil 120.
Devil 120, descend to flight level 90.
Descending flight level 90, Devil 120.
4636, contact 118.405. 118.405, 156.
So we go back to the Avi tab. Vertically we need to be at 2000 feet, so I really need to kind of bring it down because it's not very good at that. Decision height. The decision height is, I think we are category B, so that would be 414.
China Freighter 1025, hello, vector island 18 center. 18 center, Air China Freighter 102, hello.
So got the ILS tuned in. We also can tune in the 322 London City NDB. We do this here. 3. How do we do that? Oh, hang on. How do we do that? This is a bit weird. 3, 2. Ah. 2.
Devil 120, descend to flight level 70.
Descend flight level 70, Devil 120. Ah, look on. Looky, looky. It's working. Let's do vertical speed. So I'm doing 1500 and I'm taking back the power. Yeah. You can't see this now, but I get a little red marker on the left lower bottom which says flight idle, so I know now that I'm in the flight slightly below the flight idle area. And that's for me just an indication not to pull back further, because otherwise we'll get in trouble here with the props.
Devil 120, turn left heading 190.
Left 190, Devil 120.
Road KLM 812 heavy.
Hallo, kilometer 12 vector silence, center information Delta active.
Delta
190.
vectors voor 18 center KLM 812.
There we go. We're still a little bit high. So we need to get down.
KLM 90 Lima further to the right, heading 285. Right, heading 285, KLM 90 Lima.
Yeah, we need to get down. So this is not sure what to do now. Should I or should I not?
KLM 50 Lima, speed 200.
Speed 200, KLM 50 Lima.
We really need to get down, because the ILS starts with about 2000, so we are still a bit far from the airport, okay, but I hope that it will bring us down soon.
Devil 120, descend to
There we go.
3,000 feet,
Not too bad,
QNH1013,
not too bad.
transition level 60.
I guess due to the failed attempts, transition level 60, QNH 1013, descend 3000 feet, level 120. So, very good speed mode, and down we go.
Devil 120, turn left heading 160.
Left heading 160. Devil 120.
Airport 686 Gold, speed 220.
Speed 220, November Max 686
Yeah, you can see already some stutters. I guess that can't be prevented. I get a bit slower. Yeah, this is a rather awkward approach. I'm pretty sure in real life it wouldn't go like that. Well, maybe it does, but altitude select. Actually, I didn't press altitude select, but it is selected. Lucky me. That would have been awkward again. Yeah, it has really brought us quite far out. We are almost at Heathrow. You see that there? That there is London Heathrow. Just ahead of us. I guess that is a little bit far. That could have been a bit more down. So
Devil 120, turn left heading 115.
Left heading 115, Devil 120.
KLM 90 Lima, contact 131,155, speed 220. Speed 220, Lima 155, KLM 90.
So 3,900. So that sounds like the ILS is in range. Can't remember having turned that on.
Heading 030. We're heading 020, kilometer 46.
So I don't think we need this thing anymore. So I leave this for the moment.
Kilo 50 Lima, descend level 60. Descend level 60, kilo 50 Lima.
We've reached 3000. I have to give more power. Try to get back to 210 knots. So
120, turn left heading 105.
Left 105, Devil 120.
Project A, get 0 Romeo. Oh, kilo 60 Romeo, vectors ILS 18 right, make Delta exit. Steady right, 60 Romeo.
Oh, not again. Yo. I want to get a bit faster, but I forgot. Check the speed, yeah. You need to get used to it. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you will get used to, and you will get more experience, and then it just doesn't happen like that. Try and keep the speed in and around 210 knots.
Number of 60 golf, turn left heading 360. Left heading north, all along 6 got.
But you can see a bit of stutters. That's now due to the huge amount of objects in the London area. But that was much worse when I had Orbix London City. That was no fun. Absolutely no fun. I hope it is less like that now. So finally we can see us here on the Navigraph chart.
Devil 120, turn left heading 0905. Cleared for ILS approach runway 09er. Contact tower on 118.075 when established. 5.
Left heading 095, cleared ILS approach only 09, contact tower on 118.075 when established. Bye. Yeah. But there's nothing here I can do so that it gets less. So I think when we are at 100, aha, here we go. We are now on the glide slope. I'll bring out first stage of flaps. And I'm now going to bring down the gear. I think it's okay, I hope. But that's the only way to get it slowed down quickly.
2500.
Because I think we are already, again, we are a little bit too fast. It's very difficult to slow this aircraft down. I'm not sure if it's like that in the real world. We are on a 5 degrees descent angle. So, as you can see, that makes it very difficult. And the flaps don't seem to do much for braking the aircraft. Canary Wharf. Okay. Slowly but surely. We're getting slower. So everything is out. Landing lights are on. And I'm going to turn off the autopilot now.
Approaching 09.
I'm going to
Sync
try
rate,
and come
sync
in a
rate.
bit flatter.
Sync rate.
Five.
Yeah,
Sync rate.
disregard.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
400.
Sync. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Glide
There's a
slow,
reason why I
glide
do
slow.
this, because we need to come
Glide
in
slow,
much flatter
glide
than
slow.
we did all the time.
Glide slow. Glide
Because
slow.
otherwise we have absolutely
Glide slow,
no
glide
chance
slow.
of
50.
of a
30.
somewhat decent
20.
landing.
10.
4,000
Oh.
feet remaining.
Yeah, we had that before. I did it again.
30. 30.
This is almost impossible.
Glide slow,
Even
glide
if I
slow.
come in at a somewhat reasonable angle, when something like that happens, it just Okay, so I'm going to climb to 2000.
Get 1990 vector silence 18 right, destination Echo.
Roger, got 1990.
Okay, so I'm now arming again the glide slope. Let's see. Oops. And I almost got now too slow.
Thank you.
You have to be really careful. It's so many things that take my concentration. So it's not the easiest of aircraft. It just requires you to really be on your toe, and especially on this approach, which is a bit painful. 2000.
Number 686 Golf, descend to flight level 50. Flight level 50, Mark 686, copy.
Devil 120, turn left heading tree 20, you are 1,000 feet below your clearance altitude,
Blah,
climb
blah.
and maintain 3,000 feet.
Blah blah. No, we're not going to do that. So the glide slope is coming in. We have captured the localizer. Here we go again. Hopefully this time it's not as bad, and we're definitely going to try and be as slow as we can. So I'm bringing out the gear to hopefully slow us down. I'm on the flight idle, and I'm bringing out the rest of the flaps, and that hopefully you can see it's such a steep angle, and it continues to increase the speed. Yeah.
Devil 120,
Again.
turn left heading tree 00.
Get 102, left 360,
Left 360, 620, get 102.
And I better keep my hands off the throttle levers, because instinctively I pull on it, and
1,000.
that's not good. Not good at all.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
That's normal.
Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate.
Ignore it.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
500.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
See, we're getting fast
Glide
again.
slow. Glide slow.
400. 300.
It's very difficult to judge, and the glide slope, we're actually below the glide slope,
Sink rate.
but
Sink
we're
rate.
still
Glide slow. Glide
on an
slow.
extremely...
Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide
So
50, 40, 30,
my hand is
20,
off it.
10.
Oh, and down you stay. Down you stay. 400 feet per minute is okay. I'm now pressing the aileron forward as much as I can. That wasn't beautiful, but at least we landed. Extremely difficult, and this aircraft doesn't really help here. It does not really help. I'm not sure that it's that difficult in the real world, I don't know.
Carenado 457, hello, turn right, heading 280, vector to Island Number 18 Center, information echo.
Information echo, heading 280, red for 18 Center, Carenado 457.
Carenado 457, descent flight level 40.
Descent flight level 40, Carenado 457.
Kilo 1990, descent to 3000 feet on the QNH 1018.
LC 3000 feet, QNH 1018, Kilo 1990.
Kilo 1990, full arrival, 118.405.
18405, Kilo 1990.
Yeah, the brakes are very rough. Like little touch on the brake pedals actually cause the aircraft already to. I need to create some response curves for this too. This looks like we have a bit of a mesh problem here.
Kilo 76 November, arrival 131155. 31155, Kilo 76 November, right?
and then we need to turn and try and hit this line. Something that is very difficult from inside the cockpit, because you just simply don't have the same view as a real pilot. That's why I use this view. Well, more or less. Okay, thank you for the service, and yeah, so the first thing is we turn off the left engine. We're going to get the ground power on. So it's connected, and then I turn off the second. Okay, and then we can open the front left door and the rear left door. Put on the static elements, and we have arrived, if you want to call it that, in London City Airport, where I have to use the default gateway airport as well, due to really abysmal performance that I had with the Orbix London City. Orbix London City is very nice, very, very nice, but it's just not flyable for me. At least not with this aircraft. I don't know if it is better with another aircraft. So that was an interesting one. Yeah. Not sure if it's easier to arrive from the other end, but the winds actually forced me to go to 09. Very difficult, very, very difficult with this aircraft to get it right. I don't know, I've tried now 7 times or 8 times. I have attempted different things, coming in quite low, coming in high. High doesn't work at all, because you get so much faster, and with this speed you just can't. And then I also have no feeling for when I have to pull the aircraft up, because the first time I tried, I did it too early, and then we kind of sailed over the whole runway, and I had to make a go around. Then I did it the other way around, and we slammed into the runway, and we were hopping like mad. I mean, under normal circumstances, that would have been it for the aircraft. This one was not nice. We had a jump or two. I actually pressed forward on the yoke in order to keep the nose down. But again, this is a bit like a bungee jumper here, and that's probably because I'm too fast or too high, or I have no idea. So I still need to train this a bit more, and then eventually, hopefully, I will be able to do this a bit better. So let's do the ground handling thing, just so that it looks nice. So we're going to bring in the loader, the cargo loader, if I ever get it clicked. Yeah, and a van, and then we say drive up. Okay, so that was it, just me with Air Antwerp Fokker 50 from Carenado, from Antwerp to London City. I might actually do the return flight, which should be less eventful, probably a bit more boring, because Antwerp doesn't really have now a big problem when it comes to landing, because we have a normal 3 degrees glide slope, unlike here, where it is a 5 degrees or something, which is, as you can see, quite a challenge with this one. Okay, thanks very much. Bye bye. strange effects there at the exhaust.